This is Hot Mike.
Hot Mike.
On the networks of WDAY. Here's Dom Izzo.
Welcome back, everybody. Hour 2, ready to rock and roll on this Tuesday morning. Mandan's McKenna Johnson will join us about a half hour about her commitment to play basketball for Jory Collins and the Bison women. We'll do that in about a half hour. We are on the doorstep of the college football week 1. Also, week 1 for Minnesota high school football begins Thursday with a bunch of games. The Spuds are playing down in the Twin Cities. There's some great games in Minnesota. We're going to be broadcasting Barnesville and DGF on Friday night. Another great one that I covered a bunch on Friday features our next guest as Hawley opens up 2024 against Perham. And it's our pleasure to welcome back to the big show the Hall of Famer from MSUM. Long time. What year is this now at Hawley, Mr. Peder Naatz?
As head coach, 25.
Holy
and,
cow.
27th overall.
Congratulations. Yeah. That's fantastic. Happy New Year. You're getting ready to rock and roll for a new season. What's anticipation like on Tuesday of game week?
Well, the most exciting part of it is we got through our scrimmage on Saturday healthy. That's always a main concern. We found out that we can do some things. We found out that we've got some athletes that can really take care of the ball and make some things happen. And we realized and found out that our offensive line is way ahead of where we were last year. And with where we've been for the last several years, Dom, struggling a little bit. Yeah. We're due to get turned back around, but it's not that anybody owes us that. I mean, our kids have taken it upon themselves to really bust their butts over the last year and a half, 2 years, really, to get back to this, and they're just excited to get back on the field and start playing ball.
I know I've talked to you about this a couple times. How difficult has the last couple years been with everyone's so accustomed to you guys winning? How tough has that been for you personally?
It's not been super tough to weather that. Everybody knows that high school athletics has its ebbs and flows, and the bell curve, and transition in coaching styles, transition in coaching staffs. And it's just, we knew in the first 14, 15 years, we were on a heck of a run. Yeah. Not many teams get to run like that unless you rhyme with Caledonia or something like that in 2A football. And recently, Barnesville's been on a tremendous run, and it's just part of the game. It's part of the deal. It would mean a whole lot more if football was something that defined me, and it's a huge part of my life. Don't get me wrong. I love the game. I love what it does for me personally, as far as relationships and things like that. But as far as handling not being super successful, football doesn't define me. There's a whole lot more to me than just what happens on Friday nights in the fall. But it is a big part of it. But we're gonna get better. And if I hang in here long enough, we're gonna be down again. That's just the nature of this beast.
If I would have told you 25 years as a high school head football coach, would you have believed me?
You could have told me 25 years of doing anything, and I wouldn't have believed you. It took me a long time to figure out what I wanted to do, and it turns out that I've been blessed with where I've ended up for both of my jobs. And it's right here, right now. I couldn't think of a better place for me to be with my family right now.
Describe the anticipation for this season. You mentioned going through camp. You figured out what you know through scrimmage here for the upcoming season, knowing full well who you're going to play, the challenges of that. You and I have been around the bend about scheduling. You travel all over Minnesota. What's 2024 hold for you guys?
2024 is going to be a gift. Last year we had to go to Roseau, to Warroad, and just a few weeks apart. And that's whatever the scheduling people decided to do. That's how it worked out. This year, our longest trip is to Crookston. It's like 78 miles.
That's not bad.
You can do that in less than an hour and a half. And so it's going to be nice to not have any long hauls. We're not going to have to get out of school any of those days. And we're just, 25 years, you see a lot of things, and we've had better schedules. We've had worse schedules, and I'll take the one we have right now, starting off with Perham this week.
How important is it to play your Highway 10 rivals to keep and Perham's up a class, but you play them. I know you played DL for a while as well. How important was it to still play a Perham like this to start the year?
It's really good. It's good for both schools. It's good for the Heart of Lakes Conference, which with the district football, it's different, but we
Yeah.
are in the Heart of Lakes model of the Midwest District. And we used to play DGF every year, and
Yep.
that was always a slugfest. But as long as we can keep some sort of that Highway 10 HOL rivalry going and keep those games playing, 3A, 2A, is there a difference? It can be, but is it mostly? No. Is it this year? I hope not. I hope it's not a big difference, but it's it's good. It's good for the kids. It's good for the communities. Good for everybody involved with the schools to be a part of that. So
Those games I can remember, though, driving up, man, you couldn't find a parking spot an hour before the game. Those had to be knowing full well when you guys went out for warm-ups, you were juiced already, right?
oh yeah, there was no not being ready. If you weren't ready for that, you were asleep. So those were the days, and our community still follows really well. Not everybody that we play
Yep.
follows as well as they did, especially Roseau and Warroad now with that distance. We moved the game up to 6 o'clock
Yep.
so they can get home before 1 o'clock in the morning too on a Friday night. But that being what it is, they tell you who you got to play, so you got to go there and do it.
I've always appreciated, Peter, how organic the rivalry with Barnesville became. I remember being there for the start of it where you guys were the world stoppers, and they've turned it, obviously, and become amazing. How much have you appreciated that, seeing that up close, where that has become how tight your communities are, how much respect you have for each school?
Well, it's the Brian Strand has done an amazing job down there with his squad. When he took over that place, they were in shambles.
Yeah.
And he picked and chose and stole and borrowed and begged anything and everything that from his dad and his father-in-law being Hall of Fame coaches themselves. He's got a college career himself as a player. Just taking all of the things that he had learned and the things that made his teams successful previously to Barnesville, from the cesspool to the penthouse is where they went, and he's in a really good spot right now. He's done an amazing job. His staff, they bust their hump. They put as much time into film and preparing as anybody in the state, and it's shown. And it's great to have. It's a lot more fun playing games that you have to play and you have to fight through and get through the whole thing. Beating people 84-0 or 84-6, that's no fun for anybody. And there was a time where that happened, and you can sure pad your win-loss record with that. But what are you teaching
Right.
people how to go easy? Teaching people how to take it easy on people, because some of those games, and Barnesville has had those games too, where you could have scored 120. And to shut it off and score at 72 or 84 or something, before the third quarter's over, that's no fun, and it gives the game a bad look.
Right.
But even though you're playing in second or third gear instead of wide open full throttle, it doesn't look that way. It kind of taints it, and it makes people think that the bullies, and we kind of got booted out of a conference, and that was the word that two of the coaches used. You guys are bullies. It's like, yeah, not really.
Yeah. You're
But
facing another Strand. Are you ready to be done with that? Because you've already gone through a couple of his sons. You got another one on deck.
oh, he's gonna be around a while too. Oh yeah. Are we ready? Who knows? I doubt it, but hey, you got to line up and go when it's time. So it'll be fun. Jake's a good kid. He's been around that deal for a
Forever,
long
right?
time, and you can tell how much he loves the game, especially after they won their state championship. Jake's standing there by his dad's side, just bawling his eyes out. That was pretty cool seeing.
You have a Division I football player in your household. Tell us about Noah's commitment to NDSU and seeing that in front of your own eyes about him becoming a Division I football player.
Oh, wow. That's been quite a journey too, Dom. He's dreamt of this for a very long time. did he ever think it would come true? I don't know if he ever thought it would actually come true, but I know he wished and hoped and prayed on it quite a bit. And it's it is a big deal. It's a really big deal. The last time we had a D1 athlete come through was Ben Ellefson. And turns out that Ben played some quarterback for us. He played a little bit of everything for
He did
us.
everything, is right. Yes.
Yeah, he certainly did. And he was on an amazing team with a pile of amazing athletes too. I think we had 6 or 7 athletes that go on, and 3 of them were in D1 for a while. So, and in different sports as well. So, it's been a heck of a journey. It's been a lot of work. It's been quite an investment in time. But it's a just reward for Noah. He's put in the time in the weight room on his own, not by prodding or pushing by me by any means. I've actually asked him to back off more often than telling him to go to the weight room. So, just knowing how much a vacation from that time in the weight room does to your body and what a little bit of rest can do. It was quite a journey. He had a couple kicks in the stomach along the way and thought things were going to happen at another school, thought things were going to happen with NDSU, and kind of got told, well, sorry, we had a kid commit. He was told twice by D1 schools that he was next on their list. And then after you hear that twice, it's like, are they just giving me a line or what? But when we got back from Alaska that night, he had a big long nap and he got a phone call, and it was the one from NDSU, and it was pretty cool, pretty amazing. That's
fantastic. For people that don't know, if Ellefson wanted to, could he have played Division I basketball in your mind?
I don't know if he could have played Division I basketball. He wasn't really tall enough to be a power forward. And I don't know. He had really good ball skills.
Yeah.
He had really good handles and could handle the ball. But I don't know that at I know they would have trimmed him down, but at 230 even, I don't know if he could have played guard or not. But he would have been a dominant D2 basketball player.
How about Division I track? He could have done that, right?
He would have been an amazing thrower.
Yes.
Just because of his core and balance, and developed tremendous hand and foot quickness once he got out of here too.
I was thinking of you because of the Olympics going on, how much your affinity for track. Did anything stand out when watching over the last month what you saw in Paris?
Oh, when I was glued to the TV after we got back from Alaska because we missed the first week of the Olympics, but
you saw the track part. That's the most important part.
The track and field is my favorite. They're my favorite Olympic events of all time. The 2 throwers from NDSU were phenomenal. That's great. And Laura Janishevsky, who coaches in Pelican now, was an Olympic. She was in the Olympic trials. So I just have an affinity for those athletes and the commitment that it takes for them to be able to run a mile in less than 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Like what?
Yeah.
And the gal running the 400 hurdles
faster than the 400 flat, right? I mean, it's just ridiculous. Yeah. That's crazy.
And how just the high jumpers. Oh, are you kidding me? But one of the favorite things to watch is the discus guys. They add discus and shot put because they get in there, they got one crank up, they pull her back, and they're off to it. But high school, they're doing 16 swing back and forth, back and forth. Oh, for goodness sakes, would you just throw the dang thing? But these guys get in there, they take a big huff and crank back and let her rip, and they can hear the grunt from Steamer Hill and Hawley.
The one that the Mondo Duplantis, the guy who broke the world record in the pole vault, and he did it like with ease, like he had room to spare. That was I lost it on that one. That was amazing.
Yeah, that was a fun series to watch too. And what the cool thing about that is you get 70,000-80,000 people.
Yes. Yeah.
35 to 60 to 80 different countries, and every one of them is glued to it and supportive. That's one of the cool things about track and field is the fandom and how much they support everybody that runs.
All right, before I let you go, I'm going to put you on the spot. Who wins more games this year, the Dragons or the Vikings? Who wins more? Minnesota Vikings, that is.
Oh, geez. Well, the Vikings got a heck of a lot more chances.
It's true.
Vikings.
Okay.
But that's the Vikings are going to surprise some people.
Okay.
Dragons are going to be 8+. I think they're going to win 8+.
Okay.
And the Vikes are going to have a solid year. If Darnold stays healthy, they're going to be okay. That's my that's my bit.
You got it. We got you on tape saying that. So it's great to see you. Good luck this season. Thanks so much for the time. I'll catch you down the road. Okay.
All right, sounds good, Dom. Appreciate it. Have a great day, man.
Peder Naatz, Hawley, 25th year head coach of the Nuggets. How awesome is that? Giving us a few minutes. They'll be taking on Perham on Friday night, part of a huge night of high school football as Minnesota jumps in the pool to start the opening week of the season coming up on Friday. We're due for a break. We got caught up on a couple of emails here. There's some other cuts coming down the NFL we'll let you know about. We roll on a busy Tuesday. We're back on Hot Mic right after this.